Hello everyone, I am Gabriel and this is the Rise Atlantis show. Hallelujah. Today is Sunday, April 8th, 2018. The topic of the day will be Anubis. Is an Egyptian god. It's weird because in the dictionary it says that Anubis is an Egyptian god, but it says it takes souls to judgment, to hell. So could this be some kind of angel that takes evil souls to hell, like the Grim Reaper? And could Anubis, I'm just saying, hypothetically, could Anubis be an angel of God? Not saying to cause confusion or deception, because after all, it is from Egypt, and a lot of hieroglyphics in the pyramids of Egypt do have strange things in the hieroglyphs, like worship of flying saucers and worship of these weird creature monsters with the big heads, big eyes, green, gray skin, worshipping of extraterrestrials, worshipping of these half-human, half-animal hybrids. They worship monsters, and it says in the Bible that we are created in God's image. That so which means that God does not look like a monster, like how these aliens are portrayed. So it's just something to ponder. Could Anubis actually be an angel of God? I'm not saying for everyone to start praying to Anubis. It's weird because anyone that labels himself a god should not be worshipped. Maybe the Egyptians got the translation wrong, and maybe they're worshiping Anubis as a god, when it was maybe an angel. Back then, they didn't know what to make of apparitions when they saw angels appearing. So it's weird, because this kind of like Greek mythology, because it comes from Greek, also Greece, but it merged in somehow with Egypt. And could this be an angel who takes evil souls to hell for judgment? So it is very strange. That will be the topic of the day, because it is very strange. It says it has the head of a jackal. How weird is that? But then again, in Revelation, it says of the four creatures in heaven that have eyes all around. And they have like human bodies with animal heads, and human heads with animal bodies. So it's very strange. I don't know what to make of it. Could it be that a lot of Greek mythology could be angels? It's a possibility. Maybe they got the translation wrong by calling them gods. Now, of course, Shiva, Medusa, and all that may be a little different, because a snake's on a person's head. I don't think Medusa is in heaven. No, I don't agree to that one. I haven't even seen a picture of Anubis, so I'll go and bring it up. Okay, first news article. I saw a U.f.o. buzz past me. Buzz Aldrin passes lie detector test revealing truth about aliens. Now, I really don't believe in the lie detector test, polygraph as it's called, because all it checks is your nervousness. You could be cool as a cucumber and be the biggest liar and still pass it, so the lie detector test is complete hogwash in my opinion. Every time I hear a story of the lie detector test polygraph, I just, laugh it off. But this is a very cool person, Buzz Aldrin, one of the first astronauts. So of course I wouldn't laugh at him, If I were to ever see Buzz Aldrin, that would be an honor, I'd love to get his autograph or something. I hope I can become famous also soon. We all can become famous, hallelujah. So Buzz Aldrin is cool. But they make too much of these polygraphs, lie detector tests. What if people tell the truth, and because they get a little nervous, it says they're lying, so You have to see it from that point of view. Polygraph tests are that's why they're never held up in court, because it's just, unproven science. You can't put a device on your head that can pick up the mind waves and all that to see if you're lying or not. So, very crazy. Man revived after being dead for 18 hours, almost a whole day straight. That's very strange. 53 years old. That's very strange. He was resuscitated despite lying lifeless outside with no heartbeat for the better part of the day. This is very strange. I wish everyone would come back from the dead. I wish everyone would die of old age in their sleep. So this is very strange. His body temperature fell also. This was in France. They don't say what his condition was. He was found unconscious next to a river March 12th. Suffered a heart attack on his way back to his brother's house in France. Heart attacks are scary, man, because you could be young and still get a heart attack. You could be completely healthy, still get a heart attack. What could cause it is too much exercising, too much sports. You gotta take breaks. Too much energy drinks, too much drugs. So many things can cause heart attacks, and it's scary because it can happen at any minute. And you could be the most healthiest person in the world. So, it's very strange. So, let's see here. So you just suddenly came back to life after 18 hours later. What? Oh, this is weird. So the medical team was flabbergasted. So that is very strange indeed. Next story. Hunting mystery giant lightning from space. This is from space, a view. Now is it saying this lightning is happening in space? That'd be something, right? Let's see here. Above the Earth's atmosphere. So Skylab, they're redoing Skylab. It's another satellite. So these are like different kind of storms. They're giant lightning, and a mystery giant lightning. So it's regular. It's different besides regular lightning. And I guess it just strikes more of the planet at the same time. So imagine that. More lightning strikes that would strike more of the planet at the same time. Weird stuff. Just like a global earthquake, it happened upon Jesus' return. Especially to get the people asleep to wake up. It's going to have to take something drastic for every eye and ear to see and hear our Lord's return. Queen Mary allowing guests to stay in notoriously haunted room. Now this is a Queen Mary, I believe that's a cruise ship, if I'm not mistaken. I'm certain. $500 a night. Beginning on Friday, April 13th. Isn't that weird? Friday, April 13th is a Friday the 13th. I didn't even know that. So, this Friday coming up is going to be Friday the 13th. How weird is that? Friday, April the 13th. So, that is very strange. And they're marking the Friday the 13th to open up the doors to the most haunted place in Queen Mary. I believe the Queen Mary is a cruise ship. It's not giving me confirmation if it is. It's a standard hotel. Okay, so it's a hotel, but they named a cruise ship after Queen Mary also. So, let's see their story. Is the Ring of Fire becoming more active? Now, what is the Ring of Fire? The Ring of Fire is a bunch of volcanoes made up together. I don't say where is by the Philippines, and where else? Places around the Philippines, maybe Asia, China, Taiwan. So there's a lot of volcanoes around this area. That's why they call it the Ring of Fire. They're saying it's becoming more active. More volcanoes are exploding. You know, the more closer Jesus returns, is the more activity of everything picks up. Police say 6 detained and foiled plot to attack Berlin race. I remember the race. Was it here in America? Was it the Boston Marathon? Now they're attacking another race. Isn't it weird? Now they're attacking marathons, you know, in Berlin. And what happened yesterday? A terrorist attack Germany. Berlin's in Germany. So we're seeing more terrorist attacks coming out of Germany. It's very strange. You know, we never think we'd be seeing stuff like this out of Germany. After all, it is where Hitler was. Could this be neo-Nazis or something? Very strange indeed. Now, I had a dream about 5-8 years ago. I was like running at night, like jogging, exercising, I guess, and then like in the streets of downtown. Very funny, you know, like at 8, 9 o'clock at night. And then I saw this other person jogging next to me. He started coming up closer, and then he looked at me and said something to me. I forgot what it was he said. He said something like, hey, it's almost time, or something like that, or time's running out, or something like that. And it was like talking about the quickening, you know, like everything's speeding up upon Jesus' return. And it was very strange. That was before the Boston Marathon attack, so that is strange. I had that dream, and I'm seeing connections of terrorist attacks happening in marathons. Very disturbing. Next story is McCain said Trump emboldened Assad with comments on U.S. withdrawal from Syria. So he's saying, John McCain's saying, by Trump saying that we're going to leave Syria, said that he gave the green light to Assad to attack. So that's McCain saying it. Let's see here. Trump and others condemn chemical attack in Syria after Russia calls a hoax. So Russia is calling a hoax that this happened in Syria. Russia is saying it didn't happen. They're saying it's fake news. That's weird. Next story is Sanders and Harris cross a base where it will cost them. This is Bernie Sanders, and there's this woman running for president called Harris. Now, I don't think Hillary's going to run for president. And it is strange because there's this new girl named Harris coming out. What's her first name? That's my ringtone. We got the Mario sound. Let's see here. So what's this girl Harris? I mean, I'm trying to find her first name here. I can't find her first name. You know, when they do this, there's just so many words to go through. I have have a lot of phlegm. I'm not even sick. It's strange. I don't know. Could it be allergies or something? It's the pollen, right? Let's see here. So I can't find this girl's first name. Finally, Kamala Harris. Now, I've seen a picture of her before, but they're not showing it now. They should show a picture of her. Kamala Harris. Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to be hearing a lot from her soon. She got a weird name, Kamala. Next story. Conor Mcgregor officially stripped of the UFC title following UFC 223. So that means Conor McGregor may never fight again. He's probably going to go into acting or wrestling or boxing. And he can't still do UFC. I'm not sure if he's allowed to go into boxing or wrestling. He may go into acting. Who knows? Voters in Alaskan City reject a bathroom bill at the ballot box. Now this is to force so many businesses to not just allow a handicapped restroom, but a transgender restroom as well. Now that's not good, because what if these businesses can't afford a third restroom? And I don't think that's right. They shouldn't have to force a third restroom, you know. There's always a single restrooms in all the gas stations they could go to. That's what I say. You know. And the last story is loading. Oh my god. Can't stand loading. This is taking a while. Come on, it shouldn't take this long. This is the last article here. It should be quicker. You know, when this happens, you click stop the X on the top right and then refresh. It's a circle arrow. When it happens, it reloads it, refreshes it. See? So that's the trick to get a page to go faster. U.S. military resumes air operations in, this is a hard word to say, Djibouti. D-J-I-B-O-U-T-I. DJ. Djibouti. Okay. Whoa, man. U.S. military has resumed air operations in the East African nation of Djibouti. Yeah, they're probably attacking Boko Haram. It's sad, man. Boko Haram really trying to destroy Africa. The mission is called Alligator Dagger. And they're not saying Boko Haram here, but I'm almost certain that's the target here. There are about 4,000 U.S. personnel there, based at Camp Lemonnier. Sounds like that movie Langoliers by Stephen King. Let's see here. Somalia and Yemen. Yeah, so they're not mentioning the word Boko Haram, but most likely it's them. Oh my god, look, it's Al-Shabaab. How many fringe terrorist groups are there in Africa? You got Al-Shabaab. Now, when we hear that, we think Bob, B-O-B, you know. Like it's some Joe Schmo named Al-Shabaab, you know. Mr. Bob terrorists in Africa, you know. It sounds like a funny word, like a funny thing, but it is very serious. And our hearts and prayers go out to the people affected by the terrorists in Africa. Terrorism is bad all around the world. But I feel Africa is one of the most impoverished countries, more impoverished than Mexico. And anywhere else in the world, Africa is the country that has been neglected by the government and one of the worst. So let us donate money to causes to help people. That's what Jesus wants us to do. And now we'll go ahead and get to the topic of the day. This is a strange one. Because I'm going to be talking about all the Egyptian gods and how could they have a double meaning. Could they be angels of God? Because after all, it says Anubis is Egyptian god, they call it, but he takes souls to hell to be punished. Now, if a son is taking souls to hell to be punished, it sounds like God's grim reaper on the evil, you know. But at the same time, it could mean maybe it's a demon. Could it be a demon also? It could be an angel or a demon. Could Anubis be a demon that takes souls to hell and stays in hell like it's part of Satan's minions? So that's something to ponder on as well. Could Anubis not just be an angel of God, but could he be a demon as well? So Anubis is labeled as an Egyptian god. Egyptian god, so that is very strange. Because it's saying that it takes souls to hell to be punished. Now, is it taking souls to hell to be punished for God, or taking the souls to hell to be with them against God? So it's either those two definitions. Oh my God, Iran, Syria are saying Israel is Satan's homeland. It's getting crazy, I'm telling you. It is getting too much. So who is this Anubis? Let me go ahead and pull up a picture of him real quick. Because it says it has a head of a jackal. Now a jackal is like an antelope kind of. So if I pull up the name Anubis, and I'm also going to be talking about the Anunnaki, which is an alien race, but could they be evil, you know, wanting to clone themselves and all that? Could they still be alive, the Anunnaki, in that solar system, or did they die off? So very strange stuff. After all, it says in the Bible, in Genesis, the Nephilim. The Nephilim, Genesis 6:3, I believe, says that there were giants in the earth in those times. And it's strange because the Nephilim could not just be human giants, but they could be extraterrestrial with a big head and all. Gray screen, green skin, big eyes and all. So Anubis. Now we've seen this type of picture so many times. When we think of Egypt and the head masks they wear, this is what we automatically think of right there in the middle. And was he a regular person just wearing a mask all the time? It says Anubis, the god of embalming and the dead. Since jackals were often seen in cemeteries, the ancient Egyptians believed that Anubis watched over the dead, like to protect them. Anubis was the god who helped to embalm Osiris after he was killed by Seth. So, I mean, this goes into, you know, Zeus, Perseus, and Hercules, and all these other Greek mythology characters. In another video, I'll go ahead and do a rundown. I gotta compile a list of all the Greek mythology names. You know, it's been a long time since I researched Greek mythology, so I really want to dig into it 100% and extract anything in it that mentions maybe cloning or hybrids. Extract anything that maybe mentions are the angels or demons. So I really want to what's the word? Not translate, because that's a language. Decipher, decode, basically, the mystery of Greek mythology. I mean, after all, Atlantis was part of Greek mythology, where Plato said that he had heard about it and seen dreams of this futuristic city that was shaped like a circle and then another circle inside it. And that was all farming on the outside and housing and businesses, stores and all in the middle. Everything, political, everything. All the city day-to-day operations in the middle of the island. This was a very big island. And all the housing and farming was all in the outside areas of the island. So it's like a circle island and then another circle in the middle The middle is where they have all the city day-to-day dealings. On the outside ring, though, is where they had, and this was a very big island, it's where they had all the housing, all the farms and all. Now, they say that extraterrestrials could have built Atlantis. Maybe there was some form of technology there, or Wi-Fi. Was there Wi-Fi and laptops? I mean, who knows? Cell phones. Who knows what was there during the time of Atlantis? But something, if it was real, if it really did exist, which there are clues that there's places on Earth that resemble it. And the most fascinating place that I've seen that resembles Atlantis is Old Sarum in England. Go ahead and check it out, Old Sarum. I'll go ahead and pull up a picture of it real quick also. Old Sarum looks almost identical to Atlantis. So, it's very interesting. Because it's saying here Anubis is a washed over the dead, was the god who helped embalm Osiris. So they're not saying that this was a regular human person. They said that they will see like this person with this face would be appearing time and time. It looks like a dog. Looks like a dog. This one right here, watch that. Doesn't it look like Chihuahua or something? Chihuahua with a suit and sunglasses on. That's pretty funny. Oh man, that's hilarious. A Chihuahua with a suit and sunglasses. That's Anubis. But I don't know why that picture makes it look like he's wearing a suit. I mean, that's weird because this is what they saw Anubis look like. This is the main description when everyone was seeing Anubis as. He was wearing Egyptian clothing. But they never said they saw him as he was never a person he was never a physical human. They said that this person would appear and disappear. So could he have been an angel? Or possibly a demon? But it's weird because he's watching over the dead, protecting the dead, seen in cemeteries, and he takes souls to hell to be punished. So it's either he's good or bad, Anubis. Egyptians, they worshipped him as a god. But we should at least give the benefit of the doubt, say he could have been an angel or god. Or a demon, you know. Is there any way to really prove it all, you know? So, so yeah, I'm going to talk about all the other Greek mythology characters. Now, getting back to Atlantis real quick, when I started Rise Atlantis, I never glorified this show to be worshipping Atlantis. It's basically a metaphor. It's like that show Stargate SGI. I remember one time I saw a show Stargate Atlantis, the sci-fi show on the Sci-Fi Channel. This was a couple years back, 8-9 years ago. And it showed Atlantis was a spacecraft and it was under the ocean. Started rising up on the ocean all the way to space. Now I started Rise Atlantis before that. I started Rise Atlantis, I believe, in 2005 or 6. You know, and it was all grassroots at the time. You know, it was a simple little website. I didn't even have videos on YouTube yet. You know, but now, you know, I'm really taking it so mainstream. You know, it's getting very exciting now. You know, more exciting than it was when I first started. Because we're climbing that ladder, man. We're getting to that other level, you know. So I never started Rise Atlantis to worship Atlantis. I say like technology without the gods, you know. This world is like a metaphor of Atlantis, and this current technology we're in, we think it's futuristic, but we're cavemen compared to heaven. And we are about to rise up in heaven the same way like Atlantis was risen up. Now, though Atlantis never risen up, they say it's under the ocean. So it rising is a metaphor of us rising in the rapture. You know, so, I mean, there's all this connection, symbolism, that just made perfect sense with, oh, this is the coolest name to call the show, you know. So, And I also say, what happened to Atlantis? Why did it just mysteriously crumble and disappear? My theory is they got too crazy in science, started cloning humans for their version of eternal life, creating half human and half animal hybrids. So God brought them to an end because they got too wicked in these evil sciences, and much the same they're doing now. God's about to put the genie back into the bottle again. You know, the genie has been out of the bottle for so long. Pandora's box has been opened, and there are mad scientists dabbling into the occult of cloning humans and creating half human, half animal hybrids. For us to think that it's not happening would be foolish. Would be to be easy-go-lucky and just to be so what's the word? To be not arrogant. Arrogance where you're getting on people's nerves. To be oh man, I get a loss of words sometimes. That word is where you're easily fooled. There's a big name for that. I forgot what it is. Gullible. That's the word. To not be so gullible to think that, oh yeah, that they're really not doing it. It's not possible. A lot of things people say is it's not possible. It's just science fiction. Well, science fiction is based on reality, and anything is possible. You know, so they are. They're working to clone humans and create half human, half animal hybrids. So Anubis, was he good or was he bad? So also I'll go ahead and bring up Old Sarum here real quick, like I was saying. And this right here, Old Sarum, is one of the most inspiring places. Not just because how it looks like Atlantis, but the whole history of it. They built a moat and they had water all around to stop invading forces from getting in and attacking the city. Now, probably back then they had walls that were way higher where you couldn't easily cross in. So this is an exact photo of what Old Sarum looks like today. An exact photo on what Old Sarum looks like today. Okay. Here we go. Isn't that something? What you see around is the moat. All this right there, that trench, the trenches, all that is a moat where there's water all around. Now this is how Atlantis could have looked. Notice that part right there. It looks small when you're seeing it there, but when you really zoom in, you start to see how big it is. And in comparison to size, like these, that's not really a building here, that's a pavement from a building. Now even though that looks somewhat big, it's not that big either, so it's not too big and not too small either. I would say this is just regular size. Now it looks like they really dug through all that, and it goes pretty deep. It's deep stuff, man. So it's like they really dug into that, or was it formed by God? Who knows? So could that be Atlantis there? They said that the dating of that, the date of it, dates back to around time of Atlantis as well. Now this is a picture that shows what Old Sarum would have looked like with giant walls all around. And with cement maybe even. Now all this right here, there were giant walls. So in order to get into it, you'd have to go by this drawbridge right here. You'd have to go through a drawbridge and you'd have to have permission to get in. Now that is a true fashion of a large fortress, castle-like city. So that place was really guarded heavily and really protected a lot of people from wars. So not only is that land cool because it looks like Atlantis, it's also cool because of the history it has as well. And a lot of people went there for salvation. To flee wars and to find Christ in the churches they had there. So they had a really big part in playing and bringing souls to Christ. It was seen as a refuge from wars. You know, they'd take you in and you wouldn't have to worry about being killed by forces attacking through wars. And this was one of the most heavily guarded areas in the world. As you can see the walls here. Now this is what Old Sarum would have looked like. All these houses and farms and all that. All these buildings and cities. Isn't that something? They should recreate that, you know. They should recreate that in modern day now. Now they have the Atlantis hotel in Dubai, but they did have them. They have the Palm Tree Islands, the man-made islands, Palm Jumeirah, but they've never made the land to look like Atlantis in an island. I mean, yeah, they named the hotel Atlantis, but I wish they would have actually created a man-made island that looks an exact replica to Atlantis, and have the Atlantis hotel there. You know, so they had the right idea when they created the Atlantis hotel. I wish they would have went all out in creating Atlantis type replica island. I wish they would have went all into that, like they went all in for creating a Palm Tree Island. You know, so it's very strange stuff indeed. And you know, I hope America can. I hope I can create some incentives, convince rich people to build man-made islands here in America as well, off the coast of California, off the coast of Florida, and off the coast of Texas and Galveston, you know, the Gulf of Mexico. Create these man-made islands. Not only would it bring a lot of tourism, it create a lot of jobs. It'd be awesome, it'd be futuristic. So we need man-made islands here in America. That'll be a topic for another day. So isn't that interesting? Wow. So, you know, Anubis. Anubis. Now, you know, Egypt has a lot of strange hieroglyphics in it. I mean, not just the ones that look like flying saucers. Not just the ones that look like the big-headed aliens. But they have, like, other stuff where they're tinkering in the womb, placing a cell in, like talking about human cloning. You know, creating hybrids, you know. And there's all kinds of things. They worship demonic-looking figures, also with horns. I mean, all kinds of stuff. You know, they have one that looked like a submarine, a helicopter, a plane and all. And nuclear bombs even, shooting out arrows and all. Talking about, you know, about the weapons of today. How weird is that? So, strange stuff indeed. The hieroglyphs are very strange. Be not deceived by the hieroglyphs of Egypt, because it is all deception. And maybe extraterrestrials existed by when the time the Egyptians did. Maybe they built their pyramids, or I don't know how else they could have built the pyramids, because if they put those big blocks of stone and they're carrying it up a large thing with wheels, the weight would have been too heavy. It would have crushed the people pushing it up. So it don't make sense. And the one the Stonehenge in England, where they have the giant stones on top of the other ones. How on earth did they get that up there? If they created some ancient crane, I don't think they had the machine possible to lift it up. They were smart, but I don't think they were that smart. How else did they get it up there? It's very strange. Could they had some primitive crane technology? Maybe. But if they did, why did the machines disappear? Why didn't they show the machines, the cranes on the hieroglyphics? You know, there's a lot of questions to be answered. And it's very strange. With these hieroglyphs in Egypt. And how are the pyramids made? So it's either extraterrestrials existed at the time of the Egyptians, or maybe they were seeing demons appearing to them that looked like extraterrestrial aliens. Maybe they were demons that appeared to them, or maybe they heard them whisper in their ears to carve out certain hieroglyphs, to do certain things, to sacrifice people for these false gods. So that's my take on it. Maybe they were seeing Anubis as an angel of God, but they got confused, not knowing what to make of it, so they called it a god instead of an angel. Because back then, people didn't know what angels were. I mean, yeah, most people, I mean, I would say a certain percentage knew, and a lot of other people were illiterate, that they didn't have access to the information. Might have been 50-50. So, you know, it's very strange stuff indeed. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and do a couple of EVPs. EVPs mean electronic voice phenomenon. We pick up the audio through the apps on the phone, the recordings. And it picks up the whispers and writes it out. Okay, and to let all the Christians know this is not occultism, I always pray to God before I do this. I pray to the angels of the Holy Spirit to speak. And I receive prophecies through this and uplifting words from the Holy Spirit. So now we'll go ahead and get started. And I love the way this show is so organized. It's 15-20 minute news, 15-20 minute topic of the day, 15-20 minute EVP section. Now, so we almost got it going. Let's see. Always tired every night, man. If we're not tired at night, we're tired in the mornings when we're barely waking up and groggy, and we're tired in the afternoon. I'm tired, always tired. In heaven, we will never get tired anymore. Here we go. It's weird. We got a word that was on both of these phones. It's rare when it happens. This phone says, it's weird. It says, certain friends may have been regretted in certain photos. Weird. So it's talking about certain friends may be regretted in recent photos. I don't know what to make of that. Now the word that was on this phone and this phone as well is the word friend. How weird is that? Because this one here has the words, do not, what, do you, do not you, that doesn't make sense. Do not you think? It's meaning to say, do you not think if you do not see me? It's basically what it's saying. It's basically saying, don't think that you don't see me, that I'm not there. That's what it's trying to say. Next word, staying, session, frame, lingvo, excellent days, Higley Splicer friended crossbar. Now we got friended here, and it was talking about friend on here. Weird. So it's saying someone's staying with the session. Are they being framed for something? Framed of a crime? Or is there a picture frame? Oh, what? This one's saying about a photo here. This one's saying framed. A framed photo. It's saying friend on both phones. It's saying a photo and framed on both phones. This is strange. This rarely happens. Lingvo, I don't know. Excellent days. Maybe things are getting better. I mean, exciting. Who knows? Higley Splicer, friended crossbar. Weird. Something about certain friends and pictures. This is weird stuff. Okay. I will definitely be pondering this one here. Ponder, ponder, ponder. Okay, 2 more. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, this phone got the words, "You don't sung over our missing." Okay? Now, sung is past tense of sing, so it's saying that I don't sing over something or someone missing. Okay, weird. It's talking about singing and about someone or something missing. Now this phone got the words, sailors. This is a weird word. Dibromo behenate. Dibromo behenate. Dibromobehenate. Okay. And then VAI, Amherst, and deserving. What is Dibromohine? What? Is that even English? Oh man, something about sailors and something of Amherst deserving. I don't know, it's strange. Okay, so, I mean, the weird one I had to say so far was the first one. About friends and pictures, it's weird. And the last one. Okay, this is weird. This phone's saying, take time to relax and unwind with you. Now it says risk you, but I think it hurt the word with, and it wrote out risk because risk rhymes with with. Risk rhymes with. Risk with. So I think it's saying take time to relax and unwind with you. Now it's saying Anna, but I think it's saying and. So instead of Anna, it's and. Take time to relax and unwind with you. Okay, so that's very strange. And the last one of the day is Axis, embosom, nibbed, I am you, I will not talk, modest, and Emersonism. Emersonism. So something is on axis, and it said, I am with you. Could this be a relative pass away? But then saying I will not talk, and the other ghosts around saying it. And then modest. I mean, I don't know what to make of this one here. I don't know what to make of it. But the first one was weird. I will say the first one was weird. So we'll go ahead and end it there. Let's see here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please tell everyone you know to like, share, and subscribe. I can start making money soon with YouTube. It's exciting, you know. Hopefully, if I become rich, I'll give back. You know, I'll not just donate to charities, but I'll give back to the YouTube community. You know, the more money I get rich, I'll give a lot back. I'm a very humble person, you know. So, of course, within my means, you know, in my budget, you know. So. We'll go ahead and end it there. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please tell everyone you know to like, share, and subscribe. Jesus is returning. Hallelujah. There's so many signs out there. And just please tell everyone you know. Please help spread the word. Thank you. Good night. God bless.